Hey, Sewer Raiders, what's going on? Welcome to episode 1 of the Procast, brought to you by Spartan Tool and the International Institute of Sewer and Pipe Cleaning, where we discuss everything sewer and drain cleaning. I am your co-host, Mike Sekach, and with me, as always, is Eric Boonstra. In the background, making the magic happen, is our producer, Emily Simmons, who will pop in from time to time to answer some of your marketing questions and throw some of your questions across the board. So with that, if you do have questions while we're doing this live stream, please feel free to send those across, and Emily will get those answers or those questions over to us. So what is the Procast and what can you expect? As Spartan Tool, we are dedicated to training and safety, number one. We love to highlight our customers, our employees, our territory managers, and our incredible model. We're also going to have some key vendors that we can bring in from week to week and have some live discussions with you. Each Procast is going to feature different topics such as PPE in the field, how to maintain your equipment, and how to choose the right equipment. We're going to do Meet the Team interviews. We'll have interviews with plumbers and drain cleaners around the country. And also, we're going to get ideas and topics on what to cover and what you guys would like to see. If that's going to be live demos, if you want to talk about sales training or how to maintain your equipment, we would love to hear from you guys. And please feel free to put those in the comments. Eric, Emily, and I have a great working relationship, and this definitely should transfer over to our Procast, and we're very excited about it. So for episode 1, we're going to talk about the pandemic that has hit us right in the face, that is COVID-19. Before Eric gets into the discussion here and some safety tips for you, I just want everybody to be very mindful of what's going on. We all want this to be over just as much as you guys do, but we have to do our part. In order for us to beat this, we have got to practice social distancing. We've got to take better care of ourselves as far as personal hygiene, and remember to wash your hands as frequently as possible. At Spartan Tool, we're doing everything we can as an essential business to help you continue to protect the health of the nation. So again, please practice these safety tips from us. So meet the pros. We all like to talk about ourselves, so I'll go ahead and start. Like to go into a little bit of my bio and background, and then we'll toss it over to Eric and Emily. So I started back in the plumbing trade in 2003 as a new construction plumber. At that point, I enrolled at the Cincinnati Master Plumbers Association to start my journeyman career. A couple years into doing new construction, unfortunately, the housing boom hit us pretty hard, and the company that I was employed at, unfortunately, went under. So from there, I went to service plumbing, and I have an extensive background in residential, commercial, and industrial applications, specializing in sewer and drain cleaning. I live in the sewers. This is what I do. I absolutely love it. I am currently employed at Spartan Tool. I am our national sales manager here, and I am also a very proud instructor at the International Institute of Sewer and Pipe Cleaning, which we will definitely do a Procast highlighting the Institute as well. So with that, I'll toss it over to you, Eric.
Hey guys, we are super excited to have you with us today. We're going to cover a lot of stuff. We'll try not to hang you on here too long, but we got some important things to talk about today. Well, like Mike said, we're both pros here at Spartan. I've been with the company going on 8 years this year, 7 years this year, sorry. But 7 years this year. My background is also plumbing. I did a few years with the Air Force, got out, and then I cut my teeth in every other part of the trade. So I've been around a little while, seen a few things. My position here with the company, I'm the field operations manager, so I have responsibility for basically everything after the sale. So I take care of DOT compliance, customer service, fleet, those sorts of things. I help with troubleshooting jets in the field, coordinating between engineering and our dedicated jet team and our field service technicians that we have out there for you guys. So that's a little bit about me, and we'll toss it over to Emily.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Simmons. I'm part of the marketing team here at Spartan Tool. I've been with the company, just celebrated 2 years. My background actually is in the RV industry. I was in marketing for one of the RV manufacturers for a while, and just happy to be part of the Spartan team. I'm also a graduate of the International Institute of Sewer and Drain Cleaning, taught by Eric and Mike Sekach. So I will throw it back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Emily. So like Mike said, we're going to cover quite a few things today related to the COVID-19 pandemic that we currently find ourselves in the middle of. So I'm going to talk about how COVID has affected the industry, how we've seen it affecting the industry. We're going to touch on staying safe while you're out there working, proper PPE, and we're going to talk, Mike at the end is going to cover a little bit about training, and basically maybe what a modified service call should probably look like. So with that, we'll get started. So I'll preface what I'm going to say by saying most everything that we are seeing here is anecdotal. But Mike and I are on social media daily, talk to a lot of you guys. A lot of you guys know us, a good relationship with you guys. So we're trying to keep our ear to the ground and pay attention to what's happening out there. What we're seeing and what we believe is that the market is seeing a significant slowdown right now. Some of that slowdown is primarily due to a lack of calls. Some of it is by choice. And in many cases, what we're hearing is that a lot of it is slow by choice because some of you guys are running out of PPE, for proper protective equipment. Mike, are you hearing the same thing?
Absolutely. And what we're doing to kind of combat that, Eric, is most of our TMs are working remotely at this point, and trying to work locally as much as we can. But as Eric mentioned, we're on social media daily. John Thompson, who is the OG Plum God on Instagram, as most of you know him, sent a video out the other day praising our territory manager, Philip March, out in the Corona, California area. John gave Philip his garage code. Philip came in, dropped the cables off so we could practice social distancing. Nobody was there, and try to drop off a pair of, some gloves to them as well. So.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that as we get into this. Another thing that we're seeing from our side, a lot of bad actors that tend to come up in situations like this. So another thing that we've seen is a lot of guys getting calls and then customers wanting to pay by a credit card or not. A lot of guys struggling with some non-payment issues for services in some instances. So be mindful of that. Make sure you're talking to your technicians about proper payment collection. Nobody wants to get taken advantage of in these situations, in these times. Every dollar counts. So be mindful of that, guys. For Spartan Tools part, we're right in there with you guys. We're hanging in there tough. We've had to face many of the hard choices every business has had to address in this situation, but we're deeply committed to keeping our products moving to you guys. You guys are our loyal customers. We love you guys. We appreciate all the business and your loyalty. That's a huge thing to us, and we're committed to keeping our team working throughout this crisis as well. And thanks to your loyalty, we're able to continue to do that. So thanks for hanging in there with us. We appreciate all the understanding. We've run into some issues with certain freight carriers not being able to guarantee expedited services. The customer service team has been talking to many of you on a very regular basis, and everybody's been very understanding about getting stuff. We're trying to get stuff to you as fast as we can, but we appreciate everyone's patience. Like everybody says, we're all in this together, and we need to stick together and work through this, and we're going to come out on the other side of this, and we're going to be stronger and better for it at the end of the day. So also, our TMs are still out there. They're still working hard every day. But with many of the travel restrictions that are in place and out of an abundance of caution, they're not traveling any more than absolutely necessary. So again, that's that's a huge thing. But we appreciate your support and what we're seeing out there. Mike, you got anything you want to add about the TMs?
Yeah, so almost daily conversation with our territory managers, checking in with them, their families, their communities, making sure that everybody's staying safe. One message that we are driving into them is the fact that, at this point, guys, assume that everybody has this. That's why we're practicing social distancing, our good hygiene, and that's why we've asked our territory managers to kind of work remotely, and in some cases stay at home. So again, I think the number one piece of advice that Eric and I can definitely give everybody here is assume that everybody has COVID-19 at this point.
Yeah, that's right. I'm going to jump ahead to one point and then I'm going to come back, but I can announce today, as I mentioned earlier, we've seen a lot of talk and a lot of chatter on social media about guys running into places like Harbor Freight, for example, was one place that I've seen mentioned, but I'm sure there's many, many more out there that are donating their PPE to the hospitals, the first responders, and all the people on the front lines. And that's admirable, but it leaves you guys, which are also, remember, we protect the health of the nation. We are, it's no joke that we're an essential service. Everything that we do each day we are essential to the health and welfare of the nation. So the fact that you guys can't get that PPE is important. So I can announce today that we have been able to secure a supply of PPE. We're going to be getting some masks and some nitrile gloves. So for those of you that are having trouble getting that, stay tuned to our social media. We'll be announcing that soon. We'll let you know when we have that stuff available, and our customer service team will be happy to help get some of that out to you guys. Speaking of our customer service team, they're available daily. We're running extended hours for West Coast operations up till 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're needing something, you can reach out to us in these expanded hours. Also, customer service team, it's Good Friday. I'm here in the museum today at the office at the plant in Niles, Michigan. But everybody else is home. It's Good Friday. But my customer service team, they are there today. We have some accounting people on board today. We're here to answer the calls and take your orders and help you with whatever you need. So customer service is available today if you need us. It will be working modified hours. Probably won't be until 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight, but we are here today until at least 5 p.m. Eastern. So in an effort to maintain social distancing practice, we've recently announced, if you've been on our webpage or seen some of our announcements on social media, we've announced free shipping on all cables and accessories. That's a huge help. It's getting the stuff to you. We can't be out in the trucks getting it to you, so we're doing free shipping on all cables and cable accessories right now. In addition to that, obviously this is hitting everybody hard. We said we've seen this downturn, this slowing and the softening in our market. We've also partnered with our financing partners, and we are happy to offer you guys deferred payment options that are going to help you get the equipment you need now and be able to get some payments in later. And in some cases, those deferred payments are out as far as 90 days. So if you have questions on that, reach out to the customer service team, your local TM. We'd be happy to talk you through that program. So like I said, the PPE, make sure for any of you needing it, stay tuned. We're going to be announcing some of that soon, and we get that out to you. So staying safe, what are the increased risks we're seeing? I'm going to read some stuff, so I apologize if I'm not looking right at you, but I'm going to read some stuff because I think this is important. The CDC is reviewing all data on COVID-19 transmission. And obviously, as information comes, if you guys are watching the updates every day, there's changes and new guidance from the CDC every day. As far as it relates to us in the drain cleaning industry, Talk recently has come about that what we're seeing is that this virus can survive in raw sewage. The transmission, the thought of transmission is thought to be low. I don't think we should assume that. I think in order to protect ourselves, our technicians, those people that are out there working for us every day and getting drains open for the customers, we need to assume that the risk is high. And that's not to scare anybody, but we need to be as safe as we possibly can when we're out there. There's no hard data to back this up yet. Again, guys, this is a very fluid situation. I can point to the SARS outbreak, though, back in 2003. SARS is a similar type of coronavirus to COVID-19. And during that outbreak, it was proven that the SARS virus could last in untreated sewage for up to 14 days. So I think that in and of itself is enough to make you take a step back and realize that we need to assume that it's possible that transmission can certainly happen. This really should speak also really directly to those of you that are jetting, but really for anybody that's putting a cable, high-speed cable or a jet hose down the line. CDC goes on to say that wastewater operations should ensure workers follow routine practices to prevent exposure to wastewater. And of course, those can be done with administrative policies and procedures, practices that you guys set forth for your technicians in the shop. Also through the implementation of safe work practices, and of course, the use of PPE, normally required for any kind of drain cleaning. I would say that you want to go above and beyond that, though. The CDC says no additional COVID-19 specific protections are recommended for employees involved in wastewater management operations. But I would say that, again, I would err to the side of caution. So what are we talking about when we talk about proper PPE? I think we're looking at all the normal PPE that your technicians, they got to be using that daily. Safety glasses at an absolute minimum, nitrile gloves, ugly gloves or a leather studded glove. That's at a minimum. That's on the daily. I disagree with a statement that the CDC makes related to that no additional specific protections, and for the most part, because of, for those of you jetting, cabling, or using high-speed equipment, we would suggest, first of all, from a practice standpoint, when Mike and I are teaching classes at the Institute, we always talk about getting the hose, the leader hose on your jet into the line, obviously before you ever engage the pump, but at least down far enough down the line that you don't risk it coming back out immediately. And that could be anywhere from 5 to 10 feet, or the length of your leader hose, whatever your leader hose might be. I would say in the situation that we find ourselves in now, my recommendation would be that you're pushing that cable, that hose, that high-speed drain cable as far down the line as you can manually push it before you engage any of the equipment. And the point there is we really want to mitigate the amount of water vapor, especially on a jet, especially on high-speed drain equipment where you're turning at a high RPM and you're really turning things up. You really want to be as far down the line before you get into that blockage as possible before you engage anything. That's going to be a little extra manual labor, obviously, but Mike and I always talk about at the Institute, the most important thing is that everybody goes home at the end of the day to their families and to their significant others. Mike, you have anything you want to add to the safety side of that?
No, I mean, we'll get into that when we talk about doing training. But again, I mean, this is all important stuff, the things that we take for granted every day. One thing, Eric, you didn't mention is camera inspections. Right. I mean, how many times have we seen a technician just grab that cable, without bare gloves on there, just bare hands. So, any type of equipment that we're running into, that we're putting down these drain lines, we have got to protect ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we talked about pushing the hose down the line. I think the same thing applies coming back. If you're used to running that cable right up to the end, or running that jet hose up until you get that leader, you see that leader hose before you stop the pump. I think that mindset needs to change right now, and really for the foreseeable future. I think this. I think that this pandemic is really going to force a seed change in thought, the way we approach safety even more for our technicians and ourselves out there. This virus transmission, you've seen how fast it spreads. It's obviously deadly serious. So I think there needs to be a conversation in the industry and among all of us as to looking at what safety procedures and policies and implementations we want to make to protect those guys that are out there getting these drains open. So again, wear the protective gear that's going to minimize exposure to water vapor. And on the jetting side, I see a lot. We see everything. We see everything from no one wearing safety glasses to guys wearing safety glasses. But we've taken a policy here at the plant that if you're operating a jet and you're in the runoff bay, it's goggles. You can't even be in the runoff bay if there's a jet running in there without wearing goggles. That typically is from the standpoint of just wanting to protect your eyes from any potential contact with a hose. But again, in this particular instance, they talk about not rubbing your eyes, not touching your face. Proper PPE, a good pair of snug fitting goggles, I would strongly recommend for everybody, even a face shield if need be. But again, we want to mitigate the possibility of that exposure to water vapor and raw sewage. Be mindful of that every day. And guys, glove up and sanitize frequently. Keep extra shop towels on the truck. Solution of bleach and water, or whatever it is that you need, but wash your hands frequently. Try all the typical stuff that you've been hearing. Avoid touching your face, your ears, your mouth, your nose, your eyes. Those are all entry points that are susceptible to the virus. So at the end of the day, guys, all I can say is just be safe. So Mike, I think that brings us to the training part of it.
Yeah, no, good points, Eric. So as far as training, when I was GM my plumbing shop here in Cincinnati, we ran weekly sales meetings, and being a national sales manager here, things are a little bit different now. The message is a little bit different. All of our talks now are focused around COVID-19 and safety. So again, I think one key point for everybody to share with their technicians, it could be daily, weekly. The president of Spartan Tool, we have weekly company update calls, just talking about the company, where we're at right now, and COVID-19 and what we can do to keep ourselves, our families, and our communities safe. So again, one thing that I really want you guys to take away from this procast today is assume that everybody has COVID-19 at this point. We all have to do our part. Again, social distancing, good hygiene. We have to let the experts do their job. Hopefully come up with a vaccination fairly quickly. I'm disappointed to say, I don't know if everybody has seen the video from last week where a couple of knuckleheads were in Cincinnati downtown and they were throwing a COVID-19 block party. Not smart. That's right down the road from me. It's disappointing. Again, we're doing everything we can in our power to combat this. So be smart and just constant communication with your team. Video calls. We're utilizing a lot of video calls, FaceTiming our customers to go through troubleshooting, diagnostics, even showing off our equipment. If we have a new customer that wants to take a look at a Model 1065 or a 2001, we can FaceTime them or use a Zoom meeting and go through and show them our equipment. As Eric said before, I mean, we're on social media daily, talking with you guys, seeing what you need from us. And we've noticed a lot of plumbing technicians are doing the same. They're actually offering service calls right now via Zoom meetings to do the same thing, to diagnose calls, to practice social distancing at this point. Eric, are you seeing anything else?
Yeah, I'm pretty much seeing the same thing. that you're mentioning out there.
Yeah. So again, practice social distancing. Do what we can to combat this. So our future calls here. So again, we look for your feedback to talk about, input on what you guys want to see as far as live demos. Some maintaining equipment videos. We can highlight new equipment. Next week, we do have a special guest that will be joining us on the Procast. He's a very big name in the plumbing industry, so we're very excited to have him on. And with that, Eric, any final thoughts?
Just continue to reach out to us, guys. Like Mike said, we're doing a lot of. Mike mentioned the fact that we're doing a lot of FaceTime and Zoom and any other media out there. As a matter of fact, we just did one this morning for a customer who was having an issue with a jet, and we're troubleshooting some stuff with him. So we're doing this on the daily. So just keep doing what you're doing. Continue to reach out and let us know how we can help you. Jeremiah Franz, I see there that you want a raffle. Well, Mike and I will talk about that raffle. But you just continue to do what you guys are doing. We appreciate all the support. We are here to help you guys in any way we can. Reach out to us and let us know what we can do to help.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, guys, we appreciate everything that you guys are doing, protecting the health of the nation. Again, if you need us for anything, please reach out to us. Please keep yourself, your families, and your community safe. Sewer Raiders, signing off.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.